Good morning. How about coffee with Carol and Burt this morning? He needs to scoot over though so we can catch him because he's got his butt way over there. Over.
I can't get this.
Yeah, sideways, you know, like this. Yeah. So, it's morning coffee with Granny Carol and Grandpa Burton.
Hey.
Sorry for the glare in my glasses. We got rain going on today. We had rain going on yesterday. And I don't even know what we're going to talk about this morning. I really don't.
We're talking about the birds and the bees.
You see, he even wakes up like this, okay? Which is good. Which is good.
Yeah.
I started back doing my affirmations and my prayers in the morning because I've been having a lot of depression and anxiety lately, and it's just everything, you know, just everything gathering on top of me, I guess. So, I thought I would get on here and share that with you because I know a lot of people suffer from depression and anxiety and panic attacks, and so do I. And it's something that a lot of other people don't understand.
I got up this morning and the rain came.
I don't know what to do with him anymore, guys.
Oh, it's starting to snow. Look at there.
I don't think so. But anyway, yes, this is how I look when I wake up in the morning, usually.
Oh, no.
Whatever gave me the idea that I could have a video about anxiety and panic when I have Burt over here. Anywho, I got to talk to my youngest daughter this morning, so that was good. Yeah, it's good now because, see, she gets up the same time I do. Well, actually, she gets up before I do because my grandson goes to school now, so she has to get up and get him ready, and, you know, he's 4 years old.
Yeah.
But,
She used to get up at 11 o'clock. Now she's got to get up early.
Unfortunately, she is almost in the same boat I'm in. She has anxiety and panic, and every now and then she will talk to me about it, and I will talk to her about mine. And I try to give her pointers on, you know, how to get over it the way they taught me to, you know, at least lessen it. And sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. But you know what, guys? It's the stressors. It's the everyday stressors in life. It's not, what would you call it? It's not like when my daughter passed away, both of them, you know, one at a time. But I had panic, I had anxiety, I didn't know what I was going to do, how my life was going to go, and it just made that part of my body worse, I guess you would say. But,
Take a scoop of coffee.
why? I'm good.
Hold on. Be there with you in a minute.
Anyway, my thing here is I wish I could reach through the screen and just take everybody's panic and anxiety away. Because I know what it feels like. And I know that people who don't have it just say, get over it. And you can't. Therapy helps for some people. It never worked for me, I can tell you that. I might have felt good as soon as I left the person's office, and then after that, babe, can you get my clip over there so I can put this stupid hair up?
Come on.
It's in my face. Anyway, it's not that easy. And they say, well, the best way to get rid of it is to never get it. And that's the truth. You never get it. But, you know, there's people out there that probably have panic and anxiety and don't even know what it is. Because Lord knows I didn't. Yeah. At least not the way I felt a lot of times. And you have a lot of stressors in life. Some of us have kids, and mine are grown now, but I remember when they were little, you had a lot of problems. You were trying to figure out how to keep them a roof over their head and food in their stomach, and, keep them away from people who are going to teach them things they shouldn't be doing. But that don't always work either. So, we have people with kids and adults who do drugs out there, and the parents that don't believe in that crap and don't want nothing to do with it and never taught their kids how to do that. They wonder where the hell they failed. And you haven't. You really haven't failed. I had the same problem in our family, and it took forever to get somebody off of that. And you wonder whether they're going to pass away, before they do. So that's one stressor. Then you got to think of all your everyday stressors. That's probably your everyday stressor too. But my daughter passing away was not an everyday thing until after she did. Then, for 2 years I was depressed. And, but I've learned that I just have to try to tell myself there is nothing you can do. Give it to God, and that's all you can do. You can't, people say, well, go to therapy. Have more than one cup of coffee in the morning, which is crazy because coffee aggravates your anxiety, or it can, but I couldn't drink coffee for a long time after I had my real bad panic attack. So I'm glad to have my coffee this morning. But I can't tell you what is the best thing for feeling that way, because I don't know myself. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. I was one of the people that everything did not work all the time. Most of the time it didn't. So I ended up on medication, and I've been taking it for 20 years, But, and it helps. But you still get, you still get breakthrough panic attacks, and everything I'm saying here is just my opinion from having it. But does it run in your family? You have to think about that too, because my mom, I know you guys heard me talk this, she was schizophrenic. And it started when I was about 6 or 7, because what, Burt? You got flies coming in or something?
No.
She got, I was 6 or 7 when it started. She was never like that, but she had me late in life. She was like 36 when she had me, and 38 when she had my brother. So we were late in life babies. And so I'm not sure what happened with that, but I think my grandma was sick too. So luckily, from what we can tell, nobody has that like my mom had it. But all my brother's kids, just about every one of them has it. Depression, anxiety, what have you. Or they have had it at one time. Which is, I think everybody in life has had anxiety. It just doesn't stick with them. It don't stick with everybody. I guess what I would say. It just, sometimes you get it and it's gone forever and that's it. Sometimes, most of the time you get it and it comes up and back, and it's worse at sometimes and it's not worse at others. When I have storms coming here in Texas, that's like one of my triggers right there. I mean, well, we have tornadoes, and everybody says, but you lived in Florida for 26 years, how come you There's hurricanes out there where you were, yes. But I always felt, I mean, the first couple of years I was there, I was really, really worried about it because being from Chicago, I didn't never hear it. I didn't have time to hear where hurricanes were because I was working. You know, most of my kids were born in Chicago except for one. So, I mean, that was the baby of the family of my bio kids. So, I never knew anything about hurricanes, but I learned really fast. But, you have time to leave unless you be stupid and you don't. But, I don't know. I don't know, because everybody has a different life, what your triggers might be with anxiety and panic. If you feel, everybody says that depression is a sense of hopelessness. They don't, to me, they don't explain it right, because to me it ain't hopelessness. It's just, you feel shitty and that's it, you know? You feel like the whole world's coming down on your head, and is that hopelessness? I don't know. You know, because when I first got my real bad panic attacks, there wasn't nothing that made me get it. It just came. It was my birthday. I was watching, I can tell you, I was watching the Daytona 500 on TV, and all of a sudden, I had this overwhelming feeling and pounding in my chest and everything. So it can come and it can hit anybody. And I think a lot of people who don't, like I said, understand what you're feeling. They tell you that, oh, just take a deep breath. Actually, though, I did have a psychiatrist one time. I've only been to a psychiatrist twice in my whole life. And the last one told me, just go home, sit on your, first of all, sitting at home sucks. If you have depression and anxiety, sitting at home sucks. He said, get out of the house, go do something. Go to the library, take a walk around the mall, which is dangerous nowadays. But you know, do things with your grandkids or your kids or whatever. And really and truly, I used to tell them, who in the hell feels like doing any of that when they have an anxiety or panic attack or they're depressed? And that's true, you don't. But I found that if you move your behind and get out of the house a little, even if you walk around the block, you will start feeling better. But you got to do it every day. You know, not every single day, but you can't just do it once and say, oh, this didn't work, because it won't. Now, if it does, that's good for you. I'm just saying, I'm 68 years old. I've had this since I was probably 15 and didn't even know it, but it wasn't that bad. Until all the everyday stressors started attacking me when I was an adult, trying to raise my kids, go to college, do all this and that, and that's when it struck me. So, the only way you can do it is to control your life. They told me, get rid of the stressors in your life. Now, that's easier said than done. I mean, because what do? Right? So you can't get rid of all of them, but you have to tell yourself, tomorrow is another day. And it will be better. And I'm going to make it better. And I don't care who tells me different. But the only one who can remove yourself from a bad situation or a stressful situation, even if it's a job, you can always be looking for another job while you keep the one you have. You don't want to just up and quit unless it's absolutely necessary, because when you get a job, a new job, they always like to see that you're leaving from another job. Okay? So, and jobs can be stressful. Trust me, I've had more stress out of jobs than I had out of 5 kids. Alright? So, if the job is not doing anything but sending you home with a headache and a paycheck, it's time to start looking. It's time to start looking. That's the only thing I can say about it. Because there's no reason that you need to quit it and then go look. You need to quit it after you have a job secured. And if you want to leave a few days early after giving your notice, that's fine too. But always try to have a job when you go look for a job, because you find them easier. And I know that sounds like, well, we're not talking about anxiety and panic. Yes, we are, because all these little stressors is what brings you to the point of your pounding heart and feeling like you're going to have a heart attack and all this stuff. All the little stressors build up. And the doctor told me the other day when I was there, you know, I have colitis. I don't even know how I got it. So I said, how in the hell did I get this anyway? I said, you know, I don't eat a bunch of spicy food, blah, 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 blah. They said, you don't have to. It's stress. Everyday stressors can cause you to have problems with your organs. Who knew?
The doctor knew.
Huh?
The
doctor knew, yeah. But it's amazing. It's really amazing the things we do to ourselves. It really is. Because, like, when I first got married, first guy I married was but oh no, he was my hero, you know. Yeah, he was my hero for about a year, maybe. But you see, we get ourselves in these situations because we're not choosing. Everybody needs love, everybody needs affection, everybody wants a hug, everybody wants a pat on the back. They want people to say good things about them, okay? And when we're young, when we're teenagers or we're young women, we tend to believe all this crap, okay? We tend to, not all of us, I mean, there are some good guys. Look at Burt. But look how long it took me to find him, too. How old was I when you and I got together? 45, 48? Yeah. You know, so I mean, 45. By that time, I had already been with the jerks in my life. But, you gotta be so careful as women or men nowadays, because men go through it too. I know when women go through a bunch of crap with men, they do not feel like it's like the man goes through anything. Maybe your man don't, but I mean other men. And they do. They just don't want to voice it. They don't want to talk about it because they're embarrassed. It's not like we're not embarrassed. It's just that the shit comes out of us. We got to say something, you know. You know, so we have to go to the doctor. And now men are coming around where they're admitting domestic violence is happening against them, and depression and anxiety and all this and that. But they never used to do that. They would suffer in silence. So I can't sit here and say it's just us women. But I'm just saying, these are all little stressors. Your checkbook, it's a stressor. Oh my God, I gotta pay the rent this week. Oh shit. Well, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to let this bill go and that bill go so I can pay the rent. Okay, that's fine. Then how am I gonna pay the other bills? You know, these are all little everyday stressors. And it took me years to figure out, all you can do is what you can do. If you can't fix the problem at that time, tell it to go away. And I know it don't give a damn, but tell it to go away anyway. You know, my doctor told me that one day and I thought, yeah, this is really gonna work, you know. I'm gonna just tell it, hey, go away. Sometimes it does. And I will tell you that sitting on the porch and thinking about better times in my life and things that happened when I was having problems with my anxiety and stuff, I would think about things just sitting by a tree maybe and reading a book or whatever. Whatever I enjoyed in my life. It's hard at first. It's very hard for your mind to go back and say, yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. This is what I did. Especially when you're in the middle of a full-blown panic attack. So I did my deep breathing, and I would sit there, and it has to be quiet. You can't be out there talking to everybody, because it's then everybody else got more stressors coming on too. Because this whole world has stressors. The whole world. We just have to learn how to deal with them, and it's not easy. And some of us can't. Some of us need to be on medication. Instead of getting medication off the street, these people need to be able to get it from the doctor's office. They need to be able to have it regulated by the doctors. You know, I don't know how to say it, but a lot of the homeless people are drug addicts, and a lot of them are drug addicts because when you're messed up, you don't care. I'll sleep under the porch. You know, they even go in people's houses if the door's open and they eat food out of the refrigerator. Remember, I used to grow up in Chicago, okay? And I remember strange people coming in my door. Not my door when I had kids, because, you know, that didn't happen. But when I was waiting for my mom to come home from work or whatever, I remember somebody walking in the door. My mom had told me lock the door, but you know, kids are kids. So, yeah, after that time I locked the door. But people still do it. You know, it's not that they're coming in to steal anything except your pound of bologna. I'm serious. And if you get depressed, please go look at some of our videos on the other channel, our unboxing videos. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you, you know, most of them are very upbeat and positive, and, you know, we tell about our lives too. Our life is not perfect by any means. Burt has dementia, and we're hoping that they're wrong, but, you know, that's another stressor. So I have my son with bad seizures. That's a stressor. I got my husband with dementia. That's a stressor. My grandkids are spread out everywhere from my daughters who passed away. So we got my youngest daughter. Her daughter lives with her dad and his mom in Florida. And then I have one in Maine. Maine or Maryland? Maine. And then I have one in Georgia, another one in Florida. You know, everybody's spread out. And obviously at our age, we cannot make the drive to go see all these people. And they all have lives. They all have things they need to do, stressors in their life. And I'm just the type of person that tries to help everybody under stress, even though I'm under stress myself, you know. And sometimes I overdo it. And I have to stand back and I have to say, you know, I'll listen when they have a problem, but then I have to stand back when they leave and try to say, okay, say a prayer for them, think positivity for them, because sometimes there's nothing you can do. And that's hard for me to process. It's very hard for me to process. When I see somebody have a need, I want to fill it. And obviously, I can't if it's financial for sure. But I try. And even if it's just a need to talk. So, I've been that way. And it's good to listen to people. But then, you have to remember to bring yourself back to yourself. Because you have stressors as well. And nowadays, the parents, I do not envy them. I am so glad all my kids are over age, because there is no way in God's green earth that I could let my kids go to school with the way these people are shooting up schools and all this other crap. There's just no way. I would be totally I don't even know. I'd be a basket case. They'd have me in a state hospital somewhere. And then they'd probably be in there from me. But, you know, I'm just saying, you can't fix everybody's problem. You probably can't fix your own half the time. You just have to say, this is a problem. This problem is going to go away, and I'm going to make sure of it. And then write down what you can do for your problem and what you can't do for your problem. And try to do some of the things that you can do. But you have to scratch out the ones that you can't do, or the ones that you cannot do today, at least. So, I just felt like talking this morning. So, this is our gab for this morning. Burt didn't get in the picture because, you know, he wants to look so pretty, you know, when he's on camera. And here he is with wifey in the Florida pajamas, actually. Yeah, see, I got my seashells. And you guys have a wonderful day. We're going to try to do some more unboxing videos on our other channel. And share us out. Give us a thumbs up. We'd like to see this channel grow. We want to do some more talking to people about Social Security and all that stuff. And things, ways to eat and survive. And I'm getting all kinds of things together for these two channels, Dear RV Butterfly and Over 50, because there are so many people out there that just need to hear somebody and need to know that other people are going through the same thing. They did go through the same things. And trust me when I tell you that we have. You guys have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. Say a prayer for all the school kids and teachers. And we will talk at you on the next one. Love you.